Hello and welcome to Where I Find My Ships, and today we're going to be revisiting Voyager 3, this time with actual locations and where you can find it. Now, I've tested this on multiple accounts, so it's quite a reasonable outcome. So we'll go through the Voyager 3 in more detail, look at its components, how it sort of stacks up as the base ships, and most importantly, some of the best locations to find this. Now, the Voyager 3 is the most expensive vessel in the game. If you want to purchase it and you don't have any commerce perks, you're looking at a whopping 656,300 credits, which is a lot really in this game. To hell with that, we're going to get this for free. And the location that I used to always get Voyager 3s has worked on multiple accounts, and it's not uncommon to get two of them landing at the one time, depending on the luck of the gods, of course, but it does happen. It's happened to me multiple times. So this is an excellent spot to start. Get it easily. There's always caveats to this. This is a very random game. All we can do is understand some of the principles of how the spawn pools work, the levels we are, all those little bits and pieces. But with a bit of understanding, it gets easier. Find ships like this. Do note, a lot of this is applicable to the Voyager 1, 2, and 3. But for the most part, we're just looking at the Voyager 3. And where things differ, we'll specify what's applicable to the Voyager 1 and 2. So with that said, let's take a look at the Voyager 3. So the Voyager 3 comes in 3 different colors. You'll have the UC Voyager 3, which looks like this. Now note, this is also the same color that you'll see when you come across the Voyager 3 as a Valentine encounter. Now it's important to note, if you find UC Voyager, these colors on the surface of a planet or moon, this will be where the crew's outside the ship and they're looking for parts or looking for something. This is the one you can just run up to the door, unlock it with the digipick. It's an advanced security. You only need level 1 for security. You can jump straight on, take it, bing, bada, boom, it's yours. The other color it comes in is the Freestar Voyager 3, like a yellow and like a lighter yellow cockpit. This will always be the scenario where it's the smugglers. So this is the one where you will need to drop an outpost nearby, but we'll come to all those details later. And finally, the one you purchase, the non-faction colored one, probably the best looking one to be honest, but the Freestar is probably next. So that's how you can identify the Voyager 3. Now you can find the Voyager 3 as a Valentine ship, which we've covered extensively before. You can also just get it as a Freestar in space, and in rare occurrences, the UC, you'll see the Voyager 3 as a UC ship. So you can get it in space, in encounters, just flying around, and as the Valentine, and obviously you can get it on moons and planets. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the components for the Voyager 3. What makes it so bloody expensive? First, we have the J52 Gamma grav drive. This is the best grav drive in Starfield currently. This may change going forward depending on the expansion and everything, but for now, best grav drive you can get. It's a Class C, has a maximum power of 11, jump thrust of 50, a health of 308, a mass of 154, and a whopping value of 118,200 credits, and it has the highest level unlock of 52. So it's got the best grav drive. What else does this beast have? Well, it also has SF sheared flow reactor, arguably the second best reactor in the game. One of the 2 reactors that has a power of 40, going to be a Class C. It has the second highest level unlock of 52 and a pricey value of 81,700. Now, obviously, these are all Starship design rank 4. Looking at this shield, we have the Odin 350C shield generator. This is one of the top 5 best shield generators. It has the 3rd highest level unlock of 57. It's an 11 powered shield with a regen rate of 5% and a value of 45,300, making it the 3rd most expensive shield in the game, excluding Class M, of course. Now the engines, we have the mighty Amandun X300 engines. These rank very nicely, roughly the top 5 position. Class C does require a power of 3, which means you can put 4 of these bad boys on. And the key notes here is that would give you a combined thrust of 103,560 and a combined maneuvering thrust of 33,600. So it stacks right up there. Ties in first with the highest level unlock. You need to be level 60 to unlock these engines. Key takeaway here is that Voyager 3 only has 2 of these, which will give you a combined thrust of 51,780 and a combined maneuvering thrust of 16,800, which only will give you a mobility of 71 with the current mass, so something you can upgrade for sure. Now, before we move on to the weapons, if we just look at the hull health, Voyager 3 comes in the 6th place, but top 10 are all quite relatively close really in terms of hull health, but nothing too crazy there. The cargo is 1,580. Not great, not bad, but for a starter ship, it's not too bad. Now, before we move on to the weapons, let's have a look at some of the other components. So looking at some of the other parts, so we have the Shipware 200 landing bay. This gives you a hull of 3, which is the highest hull for any landing bay, and it's also the most expensive at 1,700. Now, looking at the landing gear, so let's check out some of the landing gear. So we have the Pinpoint 4G landing gear, going to set you back about 1,300. They're not too shabby landing gear. They do give you a landed thrust of 2 with a hull of 3, and additionally, we have the NG-15 landing gear. These are definitely more impressive, having a thrust of 2 and a hull of 4, but they're going to send you back 1700, and you get 4 of those. Then looking under the ship, it's just the mid-cap starborn bottoms and then the ports. We do have 2 of the 500T helium tanks. Now for the habitations, we got the Stroud Companion 1x1. We got the mess hall 2x3, all in one, 3x1. Storeroom 1x1. The living quarters 2x2. We got the captain's quarters, which is the 2x1, and another companion 1x1, and another companion 1x1. We do have the extender port 200 dock top, nice choice there. And we have the Kontiki B600 bridge, which you enter from the bottom, so that's nicely placed on top there. So those are all the components excluding the weapons, so you can see that it has some of the best, very expensive stuff, and then we have to factor in these crazy ass weapons. So let's take a look at those quickly. Let's start off with the particle weapons. We have the Obliterator 250 MEV auto alpha beam. This is the only Starship Design rank 3 component on the whole ship when looking at all the major components, but it's still one of the best particle weapons you can get. It's the third most expensive particle weapon, obviously going to be a class C. Requires a power of 4, so you can only put 3 of them on, which makes sense because it has a very good combined hull and shield damage at 348 at that whopping extra crazy range of 3250, tying in second with the highest level unlock of 51. Key thing here to note is that it only has 2 of the 250s attached. It's going to give you a combined shield and hull damage of 232, which isn't bad at all, and that is the alpha beam. Next we have the 50k missile launchers. These are class C, again rank 4 Starship Design, just like everything else. Power needed is 4. Only can put 3 of these bad boys on. They're about the 6th or 5th most expensive missile launchers in the game, and if you have 2 of these on, you're going to have a combined shield and hull damage of 272. If you did add that extra one, you're going to have a combined hull and shield damage of 408. Now this has the second highest level unlock of 57 at a reasonable price of 21,800. I don't think that was too bad. And last not least, we have the MKE 9A auto Gauss gun, one of the favorites for the ballistic weapons. Class C Starship Design rank 4, has the second highest level unlock of 57. Does require power 4, so you can only put 3 of the bad boys on. If you have all 3, you'd have a combined hull damage of 444, and of course being ballistic, they do a lot less shield damage. That would give you combined shield damage of 132 if you add the extra. Now if you don't add the extra and you're just running the 2, you're gonna have a combined hull damage of 296 and a combined shield damage of 88. Keep in mind that the range on this is 250. Being ballistic, short range, pack a punch to the hull, that's how they roll. So when you look at this and you add up all the little components, it is an absolute monster. Some great components, really good ship to grab and upgrade, transform, and improve on. And we'll quickly touch base on the Voyager 1. So you're gonna need pilot. It's a class C, so you'll need your pilot in rank 4. And these are the technicians of where you can get it. There is no level unlock, so you'll be able to purchase the Voyager 1 straight away from technicians. You will find it in the wild as well. And its components are listed here. Very different makeup. The Voyager 2, however, can only purchase it once you reach level 54. So once you get to 54, you'll be able to go to these technicians and purchase it yourself if you don't want to find it. Here's a quick look at some of the components. Again, quite a massive difference. And then for the Voyager 3, you need to be level 72 to purchase. And these are where you can purchase it from. And here's a quick snap of all the components. So with that in mind, let's have a... So in order to find the Voyager 3 in the wild, depending on the encounter, the Valentine you can get pretty much at any time in the game. But the lower you are, the less likely you are to find the Voyager 3. But it can happen. Outside that, since the level unlock on at the technician is level 72, I'm going to say, you know, you probably need to be anywhere from 60 possibly or up to 72 or higher to start seeing it regularly. Once you get over 80, you'll be able to see it more often. Voyager 2, it's going to be the same sort of story. So level 52, level 54 to buy at technicians. So we're looking around the same level to start seeing this in the wild. Outside finding it as a Valentine. Voyager 1, you should be seeing from the get-go, but this is going to be dependent on your piloting skill, what level you are. Because obviously the higher level you are, you're not going to be seeing Voyager 1s anywhere other than in space on rare occasions. When you first start out, you may come across them. Now, where is this magical spot that I always use to find Voyager 3s? The main takeaway from this is it's in the Hawking system, but there's going to be a lot of this dependent on your spawn pools. Spawn pools are way more complicated than what we ever imagined at the start. My understanding is very much dependent on your level, possibly your game time, and then a much longer cycle where it can be a week or 2 weeks between seeing different spawn pools. This is just my experience of someone who's looked at this quite a lot between multiple accounts. Still all up in the air. There's no certainty here, but spawn pools can be very tricky. For example, on one account, I can go to the same system and get a very different selection of spawn pools. I'll have that same rough spawn pool for multiple days, regardless of whatever I do. Leaving the system, coming back, all the tricks and stuff that I know, you're stuck with that spawn pool. Then if I go to another account, it'll be a different spawn pool. Now that can change as you go through the game, and all of this is obviously excluding getting up to where the Starborn spawn, because if you do get the Starborn spawning and you're up to getting those encounters, you can can throw most of the spawn pools or getting ships out the window, because it becomes very difficult because of how much that impacts your spawn pools, because every second or third ship is going to be a starborn, which can make using the save and reload trick, which is the primary method of getting good class C ships. It reduces that statistic so bad it takes triple or double, if not makes it very difficult to find certain ships. So those are the big caveats. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of moving parts. There's nothing locked in for certain. But what I can say is this is a good place to start, and I'll show you how. Infamous and famous Hawking 4A is the best and most likely place you can find it. And again, this will depend on your spawn pool, your level, the timing. But if you do want to check to see if it is in your current spawn pool, this is how we have to do it. So first off, we need to check our settings. We need to go into gameplay. You can put this onto very hard. The difficulty does have some impact, but it's really hard to say for certain to what extent. You can do this on very easy or very hard. The more determining factor is going to be save on travel, save on weight, save on rest. Just turn all these on, because what we need to do is we need to fly to the moon's orbit first. We'll just have a quick look around. There's a few ships, so we'll just see if we got lucky with anything. Yeah, we got a Babylon. That's pretty cool. And we got the UC slipstream. Let's save that. Okay, so we're at the moon's orbit and we just want to land somewhere. It's all craters, so we just land somewhere. Dark side seems to have a bit better results. Complete speculatory. Now, the reason we are doing the orbit to landing, because we're looking to get that auto save when we exit the ship, and that's really critical. Now, this is going to be a special tip for those that want to try it. If you want to do this quickest, most efficient way, when you exit the ship, if you have your auto save tied to a hotkey like I do, I try and time an auto save at the same time that the game tries to save. That way, I don't have to go into the menus. I can just click a button, it reloads, and then I can check the ship spawns again. And I should back this up. So what this whole process, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to use the save and reload trick. And all that is just getting the ship, exiting the ship, hearing if there is a ship coming to land. And if there is, then we can initiate the save and load trick, where if it's not the ship that we want to land, we just reload until we get the vessel we're after. Within reason, you'll have to try multiple locations, because not all locations are the same. And that's another big factor I need to mention, is that certain areas will only generate class A ships due to its landing area. You need to make sure, one, that your landing area can actually occupy class C ships. Otherwise, if you do this and only class A is a landing, you'll never get a class C. So I know I'm throwing a lot of things at you, but it's all really important information to digest. But the aim here is to do the save and reload trick. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to exit, and I'm going to be timing my auto save. I've got my own auto save at the same time the quick save happened. We have a ship coming to land as well. Now, it's a class A, not a good sign, not a bad sign. Let's reload and see what we get. Now, I have hotkeyed to the autosave. So I'm just going to press that. The game is going to reload. And if I've timed my quick save correctly, I'm going to be able to not have to go into the menus. So we'll go look up. Okay, so we got the same ship. So there's two possibilities here. I didn't time my quick save correctly, and we're just going to keep getting the same ship over and over, or we're just getting the same ship because the spawn pool generated the same ship. So let's reload, have a look, see if it has changed. Okay, it's the same ship again. So normally if you get it 3 times, it still could be that it's just the spawn pool. We'll try it one more time. Okay, so this tells me we got a different ship. So the actual quick save, it saved correctly, and it's at the perfect point where now we can do the quick reload and change the ship that lands each time. And again, we're not getting a very good spawn pool in this certain location, but we'll try a couple more times. Okay, so this spawn pool looks like we have 2 ships, the Ecliptic Claymore and one of the other Ecliptic ships. Yeah, we got the Revelation or something, I think. Try again. Okay, no luck. Okay, no luck again. Okay, no luck again. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change location. So to do that, we're just going to go into orbit and we're going to land back on the planet again, and we're going to repeat the process. So we're going to exit the ship, and as we do, we're going to quick save it. Okay, so I've landed, and I've been fortunate enough to get the scenario where I get 2 landing at the same time. So we have one, which is the UC ship, which is just going to be people asking for parts or something, and we can just waltz on, and using the advanced security rank 1, we can take it. Just unlock the door, go in, it's yours. No worries there. No, the other one we got was the Freestar Collective. So with this one, it's generally always going to be the smuggler ship. Now, I do believe they can switch roles, and you can have the UC as smugglers and Freestar as people looking for parts. I do believe it switches, but it's just less common. But for the Freestar, we need to drop a outpost nearby. So we'll do that first. We'll drop an outpost. We'll go inside. We'll talk to the captain. We'll take their legendary gear that we get. At least this time I did. That was pretty cool. So we'll say, yes, we are the smuggler. We'll say, yes, we're waiting for them. We need the part to smuggle to someone, and we get it. And then we leave the ship, and we need to travel to another another planet within the same system or leave the system. It's up to you. And then we need to travel right back to where our outpost is, which is just near the ship. And then we can walk on. Everyone's cleared out of the ship and it's ours to take. Now, I've covered how to do this in a lot more detail in another video. So if you do need more information on this, I'll put another thing in the right-hand corner where you can check that out, go through a lot of it in a great detail. That's a good place to start on how to get the Voyager 3, possibly 2 and 1. Now, we will go through this in a lot more detail, how to use these techniques to get Class C ships in another video. And I hope you got something out of this. Please like and subscribe. Peace.